Now, the International AIDS Candlelight, Memorial is a time for all of us to remember, the many lives lost to AIDS. It is an opportunity to honor those who dedicated their lives to helping people living with and affected by HIV and continue to mobilize our communities in solidarity. To speak to us, we have Dr. Stephen Watiti, the Chairperson of the National Forum of People Living with HIV and AIDS Networks. He joins me right now in studio. Very good afternoon, Mr. Watiti. Thank you for joining us.
Good afternoon, nice being here.
And I understand the month of May is very, very important to people living with HIV and AIDS, especially given the COVID-19 pandemic. But we would like to know, what plans do you have as people living with HIV this time around?
Well, as you have mentioned, we remember people. We commemorate the International Candlelight Day, which falls on the third Sunday of May, and we remember people who have died because of AIDS. We have cumulatively over 35 million people, over 35 million people possibly who have died worldwide, and in Uganda have lost over 2 million. So we commit ourselves first by remember these people, but we also commit ourselves to ensure that people don't continue dying in the same manner. So we commit ourselves that way, and so it's a very, very important day for all of us, people living with HIV, and indeed for the whole community, because as you know, HIV, either you're affected or infected, like some of us were infected. Yeah.
There have also been some issues to do with poor access to food when it comes to people living with HIV and AIDS. Are you actually very comfortable with the government's containment measures, or do you think more needs to be done so that these people are given the essential services that they need?
I think we are grateful, of course, for what has been done, what continues to be done, but there is a lot to be done. Many times because people living with HIV who are on ARVs, and we have about 1.2 million Ugandans who are on ARVs, I'm one of them. We take our ARVs, we are supposed to take them daily. Some people take once a day, some people take twice a day. But many times they have to eat something. Now, one of the challenges you have had is that people are not able to swallow this medicine because they don't have access to food. Some people have called us saying that we have waited for food. They have told us to wait, but as we wait, we have to swallow our food. And as you know, because of the disruption caused by the lockdown, many people cannot go to work. And many of our people are in this informal employment, where they go and work and earn something, then come and eat, especially the urban and peri-urban poor. So we believe that they have done a lot, but there is a lot to be done more. And we think that the most important thing is, first and foremost, the task forces should have at least voices of people living with HIV. Because they cannot do things for us without us. We believe that if every task force, include from the top to the district task forces that are dealing with the COVID-19, including the people living with HIV, they would be able to pick out these people. Because some of our people, because of stigma, cannot come out and speak loudly, like, look, we need help. But we know them. We can be able to reach them with food and tell them, look, this is going to pass, but make sure you continue swallowing your medicine with good adherence, like we always do.
And also, do you think COVID-19 can derail or impede the success that we've garnered when it comes to combating HIV and AIDS in Uganda? And if so, what do you want government to do so that we can maintain the success we've achieved in the past?
We need to continue doing what we have been doing. For example, we know that before this came, we were having about 53,000 new infections annually. That's about 1,000 weekly.
Indeed.
You can imagine that now with the lockdown, they are going to increase. People are not able to access condoms. There are people at home. There's GBV, gender-based violence, which is one of the drivers of the epidemic. And worse still, people are not able to, like we already talked to, are not about to swallow their medicine as they should do. We have been losing about 23,000 people annually, which means about 450 weekly. This is something that we need to stop. Unless we do what we have been doing and continue fighting COVID-19 together with HIV at the same time, concurrently, the gains we have had are going to be lost. We will not be able to overcome HIV as a public health threat by 2030 as we have had thought.
Indeed. Any special message for our viewer who is watching right now, NTV at 1? Any special message or appeal you have
I would like to appeal
on HIV during this current lockdown?
First and foremost, people living with HIV. I would like to appeal to them and tell them, look, please ensure that you have your medicine. If you are not able to go to your ART center, Go to any ART center where which is near you and go introduce yourself, and they will give you a refill. If you have a problem, call the district network or the DHO. They are able to get you your medicine. Secondly, to the community, let us be empathetic. Let us be empathetic with people living with HIV, because if they don't swallow their medicine, then they are at risk, you people who are not yet infected, because their viral load, the amount of HIV in their blood is going to increase. Indeed. And then they will be able to, they will continue infecting others. So this is the two things. Let us make sure that we fight COVID-19 at the same time as we fight HIV.
Dr. Watiti Stephen, thank you very much for having made the time to speak to us right here on NTV at 1.
Thank you, sir.
And we are going to take a very short break, but do stick around because we do have a lot more information in store for you after